we cannot continue to provide the premier services that we have been providing this community with limited revenue that we face despite all these cuts that we have made, that we are making now, and we will continue to make.
When this recession started, no one could have predicted how long or how severe it was going to be. And thankfully, I think we as a city, we prepared well enough that we were able to, I think, weather the better part of this economic downturn.
The staff have been working very hard to come up with an implementation plan for the special budget ad hoc committee's recommendations that will both save the city nearly $2 million annually and still take into consideration our at-risk population.
Who are addressing these things, if their pensions are going to be what these people's pensions were, you got to remember, these people retired 20 years ago. They're living on like $480 a month. That 50 cents for that muffin may not sound like much to you guys, but to a person who's living on $480, it's a lot of money.
Seniors that are mad at me for this, but this is something that I have noticed. The thing that I don't want to hurt is the seniors that are truly in need. I don't want to do that because I do believe it may be their best meal of the day. And I do believe that, you know, that raising not the rate, not the price, because it's just a suggested. But the problem here is, so you all know, the average amount of money that we get per meal in those facilities is 80 cents. Okay? Now, that 80 cents may be all some people can afford. But I know, because I've eaten over there, that there are a lot of people who can afford more than 80 cents, and they're not paying it. And so they're really hurting the disadvantaged that need that program.
An economic decision to accept millions of dollars to build a park for a small investment in terms of maintenance. If we turn down this funding now, as the economy improves, communities will ask for parks and construction would then require taxpayer dollars. We do realize, however, that this is a large increase, and we will be offering applicants education about grant-funded scholarship programs available to them.
But I don't want to burden a single mother who has 2 children, who is struggling every day just to get through the day with another $2 an hour for their children. I think that there's something that we need to do to mitigate that, and I don't know what the answer is, but I think that if we put our heads together, we could do it.
We represent 4,200 seniors, a lot of which depend upon the senior transportation program that Jacob Snow used to sponsor when he was a general manager for the RTC. We also have, unfortunately, a substantial number of people that depend on the Meals on Wheels program. Now that's the bad news. The good news is that we were very gratified, I know personally, to hear that Mr. Snow and you, in working with the ITN, Fran Smith, who's in the audience, in a way to mitigate the problems with our senior transportation, to work in partnership and to delay the implementation until you get these details all worked out.
I know you're trying to find a better way for us, but you're not going to find nothing in the price we're paying now. And no one of us can afford $6 a day. Maybe one day, but 5 days a week. See, I go to the center to eat, to socialize, to go to the gym, because you try to stay healthy. But in this case, and I don't want to stay in the house and be locked up for 5 days or 7 days. And I might as well shoot myself, no?
We've always known that parks and our recreational opportunities and public safety to our residents are very, very important. And that's why we've done all that we can, all that we could do to make sure that we've kept the services as intact as possible. Instead, we've cut every other part of our budget prior to tonight.
Good job preparing for the downturn, and that has helped revenues remain fairly flat by pulling from reserves. It peaked at $221 million in 2008. It went down to $2,003 million in 2011, and this year it will be on pace to be $219 million for the city's general fund spending. So to say it's a revenue problem when revenue has increased by $16 million over the last 4 years, I just think doesn't hold water. So where is the money going? As I referenced before, it's going into higher pay for city
The
workers.
reality is, we don't have enough sales tax or property tax revenue to really continue providing the premier level of services and amenities that we've all grown accustomed to in the previous decades.
We get a certain amount of a paycheck every month. We pay out of that rent, gas, electricity, food. That is what we live on. What we get back from you folks in the city of Henderson is a God-ass blessing. When you deliver that loaf of bread to that senior citizen center, you're giving these seniors a hope. You're giving them a help. And if you cut that, you're doing a heck of an injustice to the senior citizens.